What's up, everybody? We're on our way to the airport, and we're going to be heading to San Francisco, LA, and Las Vegas. And I'm going to be taking you on a tour of some of the best pizzerias in the world with some of the best pizza makers. What's up, everybody? I am in North Beach, also known as San Francisco's Little Italy. And today I'm going to be meeting up with Tony Gemignani, 13-time world pizza champion and the best pizza maker in the world. Let's go check it out. What's going on?
No way! What are you doing here? How's it going here?
Oh,
Wow,
man.
what are you working on?
Mortadella.
Okay.
Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, great.
What
How
are
you
you-
doing?
Good.
Good. I'm
man.
excited to see you.
You surprised me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look younger every time I see you.
Shit. No, man. I'm all gray now. So gray. Yeah,
I
so
haven't been here yet. This is awesome.
cool. Yeah, we just actually opened up. So we mill grain here.
Okay.
So it's kind of unique.
Yeah.
It's a stone ground. So some of the flours now that we have at Tony's, we mill on this grinder. So it's pretty cool. You don't see this very often. Come here, check it out.
Okay.
Like a stone ground.
Wow.
Some of the wheat berries that we get here that we'll put in our flour. So some of that the last time you were here we didn't do.
Yeah. Right.
So we make sourdough bread. We do different doughs now, even more than we were before, especially with this. And then we have starters. So we have, I think you're used to seeing some of the starters that we did.
Yeah.
Right? So like kind of here's one that's kind of strong. If you look at her, you know, she's moving. We have about 4 of these.
Okay.
But then if you go over here, smell this one. This is almost
What's this
40
one
years
for?
old.
Almost 40 years old.
Yeah, this is a heat justo starter. Well, that
Wow. I've never.
that's strong, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strong. So that's a natural
cool, though.
sourdough starter. Keith Justo gave this to me. It's probably 40 years now.
That's
We kept it
amazing.
going. So that goes into our breads. That bread's used. It's garlic bread at Tony's, bruschettones, which are big bruschettas that we do with our olive oil, our olive and rosemary bread. We do a sour cherry and chocolate bread. So we do all these breads now, and then those breads are used throughout some of the restaurants. And then we do bagels, so old school bagels,
Yeah.
boiled, baked, cooked on burlap boards. I'll show you up there. He just pulled some bread out of the oven. It's hot.
Nice. That's hot.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
nice, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I got a good team here. Coming back. So we're actually doing right now. These are Detroit-style bagels. You've heard
Detroit-style
Detroit-style pizza, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm sure. You never heard of Detroit-style
No, I
bagel.
haven't.
We're the ones who kind of invented that. Even though it
Okay.
sounds kind of funny. Little
Nice.
pans.
Holy
You chisel them out. No sauce, but it's all about that brick cheese and cheddar
Yeah.
that goes around the edge on top. So it's basically that Asiago bagel that you had with cheese
Yeah.
on it, but this one's going to be square with a
Okay.
round bagel inside.
Where'd
so
you
it's
get
pretty
the
cool.
pans for it?
Can't tell you.
How-
that.
Okay.
Some more baguettes down here, steam injected to get a
Wow.
nice crumb on the outside and everything. So
That's awesome.
it's a little place. We have freezer in the back, but it does a lot of production.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
It does all the dough production for Tony's Capos and
All
the
the
original
dough for-
Slice House.
Okay.
Yeah.
You needed to open this
Half
because-
of it already went. Half of it already went to Tony's, but this is all Tony's.
This is a nice size walk-in though.
Yeah.
Because I know at
Yeah.
Tony's it's very tight, right?
Yeah, 1,400 pizzas a day for Tony's.
Oh
This
my
could do.
gosh.
So, and that's where we're kind of like maxed out.
Yeah.
1,400 pizzas.
Wow.
Yeah. Then there's also production up here where we're doing pastries and things like that. The pastry chef comes in later. He'll come in a little later, and then he'll start cooking pastries as soon as they're done with making bread.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody was building a defense during COVID.
Yeah.
Nobody was looking at an offense. Everybody was saving and trying to figure out what was going on. I had a feeling that things would get busier after COVID, which it did.
Yeah.
But I moved all my dough production here, all my mixers from my restaurants. I built 40% more dough production with this bigger walk-in. Then we started making breads and everything out of here and stuff. Wow. So doing a lot more than I did, but I knew that when COVID was over, we would be busier. We had outdoor seating, which you'll see at Tony's later today. And because we had the extra seats, I was already maxed out at Tony's before.
Yeah.
It's busier than it's ever been, and it's up probably 40% from when you ever saw it. So
yeah, probably.
It's one of the busiest restaurants in the world right now, and it's insane. But I would have never been able to do that if I didn't invest during COVID. So found this place that was old. It was the deli. It was a bunch of places. It had cool bones.
Yeah.
Their direction was a block to Tony's, a half a block to Capo's.
Right.
Slice House, the original ones right there. So it was easy. In the morning, you'll see guys going with dough after dough after dough, like going down. They're like going to our places from the walk-in here. So, but we do some bagels here too.
Yeah.
You know, like the pizza bagel and beer festival's coming up this Saturday. How many bagels are we doing for that? 1,200? Yeah, I think we're doing 1,200 cut in half. 1,500 actually. 1,500 cut in half. About But we're filling up the line right now. We just opened up. They're baking, filling as we go through the day, and we open at 8 and close at 3. Festival, you're gonna see a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Adam's there.
Yeah.
Adam didn't know you were coming.
Yeah. Nice.
Told him this morning. When's the last time you were here? School? Pizza school?
Well, I've seen you since, but I don't know if I've been to the restaurant since pizza school. February's 10 years, eh?
Wow. And you think about how much things have changed, right?
Yeah, and look what you've built in 10 years.
Yeah.
It's not that much time, man.
Yeah. What's up? How are you doing? Yeah, you imagine like what things have, changed to,
Yeah.
Like you being on the team and guys winning championships and things like that.
Yeah, seriously. 100 franchises for you, 100 plus franchises too.
150 in development right now.
150.
Almost 150, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's amazing.
So this show we're going on, Lamont and Tonelli, probably the biggest, one of the longest running radio shows in the Bay Area, and the biggest, huge fan following and stuff. So they're great.
Nice.
We're also doing Murph. It can be our sports show too. So we're doing 2 radio
we're doing
shows.
2. That's why we're there.
We walk right to
cool.
one. And they're Giants, home of the Giants.
From one Bay Area icon to another. There he is. Check your cameras, guys. There he is. Tony Gemignani.
How are you?
The best, just the best. First of all, we got bagels here.
We got bagels in the building.
Well, you think it's pizza only? You're wrong, brother. You're wrong. Welcome.
Morning. Yeah.
Good seeing you.
Good
I know you're busy as hell. You got to do another radio hit. You got a Giants game.
Yep.
So
then
thanks.
we're coming back to the restaurant, getting ready for the Pizza, Bagel, and Beer Festival, which is sold out as of last night. So I'm here to promote it a bit. Everybody can be excited about it, but if you don't have a ticket, I guess you got to wait till next year.
It's really funny because, Tony, this thing is awesome. So it's Saturday. It's at Washington Square, right in front of the Italian Athletic Club. We're proudly a member there at SF Italian Athletic Club, the 2 blocks in front. And we're like, okay, some tickets. Tony's like, we sold it out. It's a great event in San Francisco, the Pizza, Bagel, and Beer Festival. Those who are going, who are lucky, and it's my understanding now, once you walk in the gates, you have at it. Huh?
It's all you can eat pizza. Over 40 pizza operators represented. Their pizzerias coming in, 7 bagel shops, 22 breweries, a lot of people, a lot of carbs. I mean, you'll carb it up, definitely in it.
You're a Bay Area guy, and you make incredible pizza.
Thank you
Bay
very
Area
much.
Wouldn't be known as a pizza. Hey, man, what was it that said, hey, I'm going to go match the great pizzas in this country? Here in the Bay.
Grew up in Fremont, was at my first pizzeria 33 years ago, Castro Valley, started there. I was there for 17 years and went on to open up Tony's Pizza Napolitana about over 15 years ago. In this circuit, I guess, in the realm of pizza, there's competitions that you can compete in to be the best pizza maker in the world. entered a lot of competitions in Naples and Parma, Italy, and Las Vegas and Portugal. Won 13 world titles. Not that just in pizza acrobatics. A lot of guys know me for tossing pizzas like a Harlem Globetrotter does, but for actually winning and making the best pizza, I won a lot. So yeah.
Favorite things about hitting up the slice houses or any of your pizzerias? I went out to Pizza Rock out in Las Vegas with my guy Tonelli from down the hallway. Is seeing the menu and all the different styles of pizzas that you have. So talk to us about what you're going to have out there this weekend.
Yeah, so we really launched the different styles at Tony's, different ovens, multiple styles. But when you step into that festival and you try Roman, New York, we even have some vegan options. You see different styles like Detroit, Sicilian, Grandma. If you're anywhere in the pizza world and you've tried pizzas from all across the U.S. or Italy, it's at the Pizza Festival in San Francisco coming up this Saturday. So yeah, it's exciting. And operators, not just from the Bay Area, but John Arena from Las Vegas. He's like the Joe DiMaggio of pizza coming in. There's Tiago that's coming in from Austin. We have a New Yorker coming in. OG's coming in. He's from Brooklyn. He's making some pies out there. So a lot, not just Bay Area born, but like Laura Meyer. She's amazing. She's from Laura's Pizza. And she'll be here, and she's in Berkeley. And then Leah, all these. If I start naming names, you'll say, wow, that's like Babe Ruth. This is like, you start naming names in the pizza industry, and you start hearing them. Yeah, it's some players coming. Bagel shops will be there. Boychik will be there. I think they have probably the biggest name in bagels. Even though I have a bagel shop called Dago Bagel, you got to, talk about Boychik when you think of Bay Area. So they'll be there. They're here last year, and they're one of the most popular booths at the festival.
I need to be out there. You know what I mean? It's like, this is incredible, the amount of pizza he's talking about.
Came all the way from Canada for this pizza festival.
Oh, dude.
Super excited. Can't wait for it. And I'm happy to be here.
Tell us the go on Canada Pizza, how you guys do it different.
Yeah, I do 3 styles of pizza. I do tavern style, I do New York style, and I do Detroit style. And Tony he's my mentor, and he was my teacher. I went to his pizza school twice, actually.
How'd you get a hold of his school and everything?
I was lucky. I picked the right school. Otherwise, things would have been a lot different.
10 years ago, right?
10 years ago now.
Yeah. He was walking the streets of North Beach, Canadian lost. I'm like, dude, I can take you in.
Yeah. And you did.
So you're going to see Lamont from Winnipeg, right? You know that, right?
I did not know that.
Dude,
okay.
Is
Lamont from Winnipeg?
Dude, he's from.
Oh, nice. You guys are going to.
Winnipeg are in San Francisco right now. Two.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome.
Awesome.
Welcome. We appreciate you, and have a great time Saturday.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Take care.
Good. Tony and Tom. Two good pizza names.
Come on in. Were you guys over there?
Yeah.
My hands, I just came from the bathroom.
That's okay.
How long have you been here?
Long
time?
5 years.
Okay.
How about you?
I'm still in Winnipeg. Yeah,
Really?
still in Winnipeg. I got a pizzeria.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great.
been open almost
Where's
5
the
years.
pizzeria?
On Corden and Lilac.
I
Corden
know
Avenue.
exactly where that
Yeah?
is. Yeah.
Okay, it's a brick building there. Yeah.
Yeah. What's it called? Tommy's?
Tommy's Pizzeria, yeah.
Oh, fuck. I'm going to text my brother right now.
Yeah,
And
ask him if
he
he's
goes there
been,
a lot.
man. Ask him if he's been.
Every Friday night's pizza night with
Yeah?
my brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to hear how it goes, okay?
Yeah, exactly. 107.7 The Bone. Tom Petty doing some free falling.
I don't know if you're familiar, but it is the weekend of pizza, bagel, and beer.
Wow,
All
I love this. This is a
Saturday
This is
in
a
North
great
Beach.
festival. I think we have the ambassador to North Beach with us.
Tony Gemignani from Tony's Pizza Napolitano.
Yes.
And in North Beach, Tony, thanks
What's
for
up,
joining
guys?
us.
Good morning.
The famous Tony. By the way, Slice House is the best.
Thank you very much.
Love the Slice House. What's going on with this festival?
Well, we sold tickets out last night. So we did sell tickets out, and
It's
we're
a
sold
huge
out.
event.
It's crazy.
I mean, he started it last year.
Started last year, and we doubled it this year. Pizza, bagel, beer. 40 pizzerias are going to be there. There's
Wow.
7 bagel shops, 21 breweries. You're going to carve it up. It's going to be Saturday, North Beach, 11 to 4. But if you didn't get a ticket, I feel sorry for you.
And then last year, in the first year alone, a brand new event, and you raised nearly $100,000.
Yeah, 90,000 raised last year. This year, I believe we're going to raise about 60. But we doubled the amount of pizza operators that will be there, doubled the ovens. The
Damn.
expenses were up, but
Yeah.
we're still donating.
Hold it. And you even brought a pizza guy in from my hometown of Winnipeg, Canada.
Tommy
Get
Gunn, they
out
call
of
him.
here.
Tommy Gunn, he's
Hold
here.
it.
Yeah.
They don't have pizza in Winnipeg.
Too cold.
Hey, Tommy does. He's got a place near my brother's house.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. That's incredible.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
filming out here right now. We're going to be at the Giants game later, and Tommy came in. He has a great pizzeria in Winnipeg, right?
Hey,
Winnipeg, right?
what's your specialty?
We're known for our Detroit style now. We started off, doing New York style. Now we're really into the Detroits.
You put maple syrup on your pizzas?
I do put maple syrup on one of my pizzas. Yeah,
See, I'm telling you, maple syrup everywhere in Winnipeg.
We have a cookbook that came out, The Pursuit of Pizza, and the pizza I made for that cookbook has maple syrup
Maple
on
syrup. Canada, it's not pizza, it's pizza.
it.
You must have beaver pizza too.
I see. Beaver meat is a delicacy. I can eat
That
beaver
sounds a little.
24/7.
We'll talk about that one later. I'm like, yeah, watch out for that one. Yeah, it won't be the name of the pizza.
Oh my goodness.
Tommy, I'm glad you're here for this festival because it is
That's
the premier
fantastic.
festival.
Brought us in his new beer. Too.
Yeah,
What the heck
Pizza
is that?
Weizen, the new Hefeweizen with Black Hammer. It's has 20% of my grains in this beer. So the grains that go into my flour, 20% go into that. And we have a special pizza that the beer goes into the dough.
Really?
So this Carnitas pizza is being launched at the festival. Look for Tony's Pizza
You are
Weizen.
doing everything.
Yeah, some cool shit. Yeah.
stuff.
I love the fact that we have Tommy in here from Canada.
Yeah, welcome to the Bay Area, Tommy.
Yes.
What's up? How are you?
Tony's
What's
Pizza.
up,
There we go.
guys?
Our
Yeah.
favorite pizza.
Thank you.
Hey, Tony's the
Thank
sister,
you.
right?
Yeah.
This is the A-team. So, triple stack,
Yeah.
electric ovens. First of its kind in ballparks. How many dough batches of dough ahead of time?
Around up to 90 batches.
Yeah, 90 batches.
90 batches
Yeah.
Yes,
of dough.
for a night game.
Yeah,
10
so,
batches per game.
for 9 games, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so but they started ahead of time because it's
Yeah.
so busy here for a game. If they have a night game and a day game, they're not doing dough the night before. They have to really prepare for it. It's really hard. We have 6 stands, 600 slices. 600 pizzas in a day, so
Six
it's a lot.
stands,
But it looks nice.
Yeah, that does look nice.
Not bad.
I like that. You got one over here too?
I got it from all over.
That's
but
so
I'll show you the
cool.
one down the marine.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Cool. You're commenting on that post I had about
Yeah.
Willie Mays, who passed. You know, my first baseball card I ever bought when I was 10 years old was a 1961 Willie Mays. Big Willie Mays fan. My grandpa loved him to death. You know, growing up watching baseball, playing baseball was a big part of my life. So just being able to be in a stadium like, Giants, I mean, it's just unbelievable. The dream come true. You know, we went from 1 to 6 over the years, and then it spread out to 49ers, it spread out to the Raiders, the Warriors, the Sphere and stuff. So it's pretty cool to see that happen and how it all just kind of escalated. And it was a lot of work. It was a lot of running around the ballpark, hustling and trying to make the best pizza you can in a ballpark.
Yeah.
When I met with a guy named Bill Greathouse, he's known as the concession king. He came to me and he says, you know what? I just want to have great pizza in my ballpark.
Yeah.
He runs a few different ballparks at the time and he's still here. He says, you know what? I just want to be here when that kid comes up with his dad, gets to the counter, he looks over it, he points at a slice, and he gets the biggest slice that's bigger to him and eats it. So we build everything. We're up on that upper deck. We're waiting for the first customer.
Yeah.
And what happens? A kid with his dad came up, got a slice, and Bill's like, that's exactly what I wanted. And so Bill and Chef T and I really created the program here. And then that went into all the other locations. So very cool. Yeah, very cool.
Love it, man.
Cool, man. Thank you.
Tony, we're back here 10 years later. What did you think of me when I first showed up to your pizza school?
Canadian coming in here to make pizzas?
Yeah.
No. You messed up, right?
I messed
I
up.
think you landed it right in there. It like fumbled. And,
I made a mess.
You made a mess, and I had to clean your oven for you.
Yeah, but it was right in your dinner rush too, because you throw us right into your restaurants. And,
Yeah.
you know, I'm used to the Papa John stuff. I was cooking on the screens.
Screens, conveyor.
Screens, right?
Yeah,
So
the
much
man's
easier. I had
kitchen
no
area,
idea. Oh my God, that
No,
was
it
so
was good.
embarrassing.
No, but
Yeah.
you did it again, right?
Yeah.
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 It's good. I
Can
forgive you. You're
Yeah.
here, right?
All right.
Right.
All right. Let's make a pizza.
Can't
What
believe
are we
you're
gonna
back, but- No.
What are we gonna be making
So,
today?
we have a dough that has my beer in it. So this is a Pizza Weizen.
Nice.
So in this beer it has 20% of the same grains that go into my dough, into my flour.
Okay.
So that's in the can of beer. We actually do 20% of beer in this dough. So it's kind of like full circle.
Full circle.
Yeah, so
That's
it's pretty
so cool.
awesome. It's a honey malted dough. It's a bit hydrated, about 70%.
Okay.
We add some semolina to this. So it's a pretty easy pizza to do. It's almost like a pinza a little bit, but different. So you can tell it's pretty soft, huh? Go
Yeah.
ahead and touch it.
Yeah. Very soft.
So we're gonna add a little bit of 100% whole milk mozzarella. This is grande to this. We'll stretch this out. And we're gonna put some corn and some carnitas on this. We have some carnitas that we cooked in oranges. When I do my carnitas, I always cook them in oranges. And then some local corn, some white corn that we're gonna add. And the thing about the oranges that are important is that when you have this Pizza Weizen beer, you're gonna have it with a wedge of orange, and then we're gonna do an orange juice mist that really complements the oranges that actually went and cooked with the carnitas. So this sweet white corn is awesome.
So what other local ingredients do you like to use? You try to do local ingredients as much
I
as
do
you can?
sometimes, or imported, so we do both.
Yeah.
So like if we're looking at a prosciutto, am I using a prosciutto di Parma that's aged, 2 years? For sure.
Mhm.
But if I'm looking for something like local produce or tomatoes or things like that, I'll go local. California, it's so localized. It's great.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna stretch it out like that. Yeah, we have a lot of relations with our farmers. We're gonna go into the oven in the back. The tight pizzeria, tight kitchen.
Yeah.
You've been in some big kitchens. Pizza Rock is triple the size, but we do double the volume almost that Pizza Rock does here. So this is, like I said, busy kitchen. Detroit, Sicilian, Grandma, St. Louis, Roman, Classic American, New York 20. We do almost everything here, other than we do at Capos. We do taverns and Chicago deep dish and cast iron. So,
Okay. How many different ovens do you have at Tony's?
So we have a double stack here, which is an electric Cupone, triple stack Pizza Master, a wood fired Stefano Ferrara, rotating Rotoflex oven, which was actually the first oven I started with,
Yeah.
and then a coal oven. You don't see any anthracite, cooked like coal ovens out here in the West Coast. So we have one of the only coal ovens in California. One out of either 2 or 3, I think. Yeah.
That's very cool. And why the different ovens?
Different styles of pizza. So if you said, hey, I want to have authentic, New Haven style pizza, I want a clam and garlic, we'll make that out of our coal oven. If you want a New York style pizza out of a gastric oven, we'll do that. If you want a pizza in a pan pizza, we give you so different temperatures, different chambers, different ovens, Neapolitan, California, Sicilian Grandma, Roman stuff.
Wow.
So a lot of stuff.
So many
going on.
different styles.
Before anybody did that, pizza's territorial. It's like baseball or hockey. I think that's a good reference.
Yeah,
You don't know what baseball is, right? But you know hockey. You have your favorite team, and that's what it is for the rest of your life. Well, pizza's like, I'm from New York, I like New York. Or you're from Chicago, you like Chicago. Or you're this guy that likes this.
Yeah.
You never brought them together and they got along. Ever.
Right.
So Tony's was the first of his kind in the whole world that made every style out of it. Practically every style.
Yeah.
And It's a unique place, and there's still, you see Pizza Rock, you see Slice Houses. It's morphed into that. But a lot of things have been birthed from Tony's, and now you see operators now. We've been here for over 15 years. 15 years ago, you never saw anybody do anything like this.
No.
Now you see guys have, I got 3 styles. What do you do? And you're
3
like,
styles.
"See,
3 styles.
3 styles. Yeah, 3 styles.
What's your favorite style of pizza to make?
I think my favorite style is actually out of the coal oven because it has a high heat, but you have more time to make pizzas. And it's just something about that feel. It's nice. Working in Neapolitan is always what I like to go do, and I feel comfortable making them. But working that oven, man, can be, because you got to move it literally 10 seconds after you put it in. So there's a lot of moving involved.
A lot of moving parts to it. Yeah. This is where we stood though. Right here, we got that picture of us making that deep dish pizza, man.
Okay, 10 seconds. We're gonna go ahead and beautify this a little bit with some thinly sliced serranos. And we have some sweetie drop peppers. They'll give it some acidity. We'll have a little bit of an orange juice mist. And with the carnitas that are cooked in the oranges, and the beer that's served with oranges, it's super delicious. I'm gonna add a little bit of Maldon salt to that as well. So that's the new pie. So the crust is really nice.
Wow. Beautiful.
And it's a young dough too.
Yeah.
Wait until, it's just really nice when you look at the structure. All right.
All right, let's give it a try. Oh my God. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Perfectly complements it.
Cool. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Nice structure. Huh?
Yeah, nice structure. Tony, so you're my mentor. You've been my mentor this whole time. It's been almost 10 years since I went to your pizza school.
Yep.
You've taught me everything I know about pizza. I'm sure you're a mentor to hundreds of other people. Have you had any mentors growing up? Who's been important in your life?
My grandpa was a big part of my life. We grew up on a farm. We lived with our grandfather. So my parents, my brother, my grandfather, my grandmother died at an early age. He's a farmer, hardest working man I ever knew. Got up at 5, came back in the house at 6 or 7, worked all day, ate lunch in a shack, out in the farm. We did apricots, cherries, fava beans. I farmed up until I was about 18 years old and got into the pizza business. So my grandpa was the hardest working man I ever knew. And then, I know, you look at athletes, Michael Jordan, somebody that's a commitment to excellence, that strives to win, strives to be better. Never satisfied in a way, still somewhat content, but at the same time, that was kind of in my early career. I looked at him as being kind of a mentor. And then as you get older and you look at the mentorship or mentoring, people, my dad was a coach. He was my soccer coach growing up. The philosophy of coaching, watching my dad choose players. It's always a team effort.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not about that one individual in a restaurant. It's about the entire team making it through. So that's organized sports and knowing to, be better and faster to be able to win, to kick it up to second gear, to third gear, to fourth gear, not just be in first gear or in neutral.
Yeah.
So when it comes to grooming players, I get that a lot from my dad. And when I see certain people out there, the Laura Myers, Tiagos, Audreys, Tommies, Tonys.
Yeah.
There's so many of them. Smoke, things like that. Why did I get friendly with some of them a little more? Why did I invite them to be on the team? Why did I ask them to work with me or come back and I'll show you something? There's a lot of reasons behind that, and that's choosing the player, grooming them, and letting them be as amazing as they can be. And sometimes some people, it takes time, and others just get there sooner than later.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you look at Siler Chapman right now, who just won one of the longest competitors in the industry that didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
If you can stick with it, like I would tell those guys,
Yeah.
it can be amazing. And there's nothing sweeter than a win when it took you 17 years to do it,
Right.
or 20 years. It's like, it's that much sweeter.
When you see everyone win, all the people that you've handpicked, is that like a win for you?
Of course, yeah. It's like your son or daughter up there that won, or your brother or sister. So for me, it's, when I started in the business, it was, these are my recipes. I'm not going to share with anyone. Guys like that.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the old way of thinking. So there weren't that many operators out there that would share their knowledge. None of them. And there's guys that you see on the internet now that you're almost forced to because of social media, Facebook, Instagram, things like that. So you almost have to put yourself out there. But if you look at the people that are putting themselves out there that were there before there was Instagram and social media, they weren't putting themselves out there. They weren't grabbing you and saying, hey man, go into my kitchen, I'm gonna show you how to do this. This is my dough recipe, this is a sauce. None of them did that. And it's funny to see these guys do it now in a way because they're forced to. Everything's out there. But I didn't look at that. I wanted to build a team. I wanted us to win. The John Arena. It's not about me. It's about we. What I talk about is, my success is your success. And if you think about my success is your success, or is it because your success is my success?
Yeah.
So when you think about that and you understand it, I can win a competition, but teaching somebody to be able to win, I think it's that much kind of more exciting. It's just it's a different chapter in your life. Some people don't understand it. It's all about me. But like John says, it's about we.
So I think you were credited for being the one who shared all the recipes. You had your pizza school. Why did you do the pizza school?
So I was competing. I was the one of the first guys to compete in Italy. Went over there. It was such a bigger world in competition. I was this U.S. world champion, but not really the Italy's world champion. And when I went there, there was regional teams, which was interesting, not just from Italy, but China and Japan, all this stuff, Korea and Brazil and Spain. And then you saw some schools in Italy. And I would say, oh, pizza school. And it didn't even exist in the US. There was one that was kind of existed. It was a VPN, but nothing like this. When I was this guy from the US, they said, yeah, we want you to open up our school. So I had 3 schools that were asking me to open up a school. And so I looked at these schools. One of them had a book that went from here to here to here, from the 80s to the 90s. And it was like, okay, this school added recipes and not only knew the science behind pizza. So when I looked at this pizza school, I decided to go to it, and I got certified in classic Italian, Roman style pizza, pizza and palla at the time, pizza and teglia, which is pan pizza. And I was the first American to get certified in the Scuola Italiana Pizzaioli. So I said, I want to open a school in the US. They wanted me to open it. I wanted to compete in the Neapolitan category at the World Pizza Cup in 2007 as this non-certified pizza maker, because I wasn't. Classic Italian, Roman, all that, is Neapolitan's different. You know that, right? 90-second bake, 900 degrees. It's specific. So I wanted to wait to open my school until I competed, and I did, and I won, which was pretty awesome. And then I kind of came back and said, I'm going to do my own Neapolitan, I'm going to do American styles, and I'm going to do Italian. It was the first school of its kind to have these styles because I believe that American styles were going to be as popular or if not more popular than the Italians. So what does that mean? Like, you know, Grandma, Sicilian, New York, soon added Detroit to that. I was doing Chicago. So, you know, we were doing tavern style, cracker thin before tavern got really popular across the U.S. Detroit before it got popular in the U.S. Neapolitan while it was becoming a renaissance in the U.S. So even St. Louis, it still hasn't really become very popular, but, you know, so I wanted to teach people. And if you look at like the people who have come to the school over the years, like from Leo Spitzeri, to John Gutenkans, I mean, like to Tommy and Tony C, Caramelli and Brigella and Troiano and just, I mean, Scardino. I mean, you start naming people and Audrey and, you know, you start looking at that. It's a great platform. I mean, if people know how to make pizzas is one thing. And I knew it. I was this pizza guy that went to this pizza school in Italy and I'm like, well, Biga, Pulish, starters, pre-ferments, salt can kill yeast, yeast feeds on simple sugars, all this stuff. Everyone says, oh, I can do Detroit. I'm like, have you ever been to Detroit? No, but you know, there's nothing like walking into a Buddy's, the original, and trying their pizza and seeing it come through that door and taking a bite out of it and being there. It's just, there's personal experiences that I think are important for personal growth. And just for like just talking to a customer about, yeah, where are you from? Detroit? Yeah, I do Detroit style pizza. You're, oh, really? What's your favorite? I'm Cloverleaf. I'm not a big Shields fan, but I love Buddy's or Detroit style pizza company, you know. I mean, there's that conversation piece of owning a restaurant and talking to your customers. And that's just by, you know, the highs and goodbyes. It's about having a conversation, and that's a personal connection. If I have a personal connection with you and you're my customer, you're a customer for life, unless I really screw things up.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. Sure, all of us can make great pizza, but I think there's personal experiences that come out from that pizza to the customer and really talk about that ingredient, where you sourced it at, or the pizza that you're trying to emulate or recreate. I think that's important. So for me, doing the school out of Tony's, having all these ovens, having all these styles to be able to drop on for customers, but bringing, you know, students into the kitchen for 5 days and be able to work a line. It's pretty busy next to a guy and I've been making pizza for 30 years. It could be kind of nerve-wracking. Yeah. You were here, right?
I was here.
And you're working against guys that are fast and or girls that are fast, or our talks and our walks, and we'd go and talk about the book, and then we'll come back and work a little, or we'll make dough. I just think that having a school at the time in a kitchen, an operating kitchen, not having a school where you go to school and then you say, oh, here's the real world. No, this is the real world. Yeah. This is the order that didn't come in, or the employee that's drunk, or the, you know, plumbing that got backed up. And this is the restaurant world. Yeah. You know, this is what that's about. And so I want you to see that. I don't want to hide it and say, okay, this is your textbook and we're going to make dough and it's perfect. And no, it's super hot in this kitchen. Everyone's sweating because when you go out to the real world, nothing's perfect. I mean, unless you have all the capital and make the perfect restaurant, but 99% of the time you open up restaurants, work in restaurants, it's not a perfect world. It never is.
Never.
So I want my students to experience or taste that. Because some people say, yeah, I'm a stockbroker, I want to get in the restaurant business. And you're like, okay, that's really smart, right? and I make a lot of money. Right? I mean, I had guys that are eye surgeons, and the guy's like this, and he's like, oh my God, I can never see this guy work on my eyes. And I said, what do you do? He's like, I'm an eye surgeon. Well, I'm like, okay, you make a lot of money? He's all, yeah, I make a lot of money. I'm like, maybe you don't want to be in the pizza business. Maybe you just stick what you're doing. But to be able to like kind of experience it, because a lot of people do go to a trade school or go to a school or go to something, and you come out to the real world and you're like, oh shit, well, this is hard, or this is not comfortable. I want you to be in front of the 900-degree oven for a little bit and try to get these pizzas out without making a hole in it or making an oblong, to kind of feel like, is this really for you? Because you're gonna dump a lot of money in a restaurant and you may lose your life savings if you don't really understand and make the right decision or choices right now. So it's important to understand that. So there was a lot of going to Italy, trying the schools out. I said, okay, this is the perfect world. Be with the class. Everything was perfect. We walked in. Everything was super clean and sterile, and nobody made pizzas from what we did the day before. And they said, oh, what do you think? I'm like, it's just a mock kitchen. And what do you mean? I'm like, it's not real. Well, what do you mean? The pizza was good. Well, pizza's great, but it's not real environment. They said, when I go back to the US, I'm going to do it in my restaurant. And I said, you have to wait. And they waited. And I said, I'm going to open my school now. When I open up Tony's Pizza Napolitana, and I did the International School of Pizza at the same time. So
Laura and Tiago were your right arms, okay? They were there for you. They helped you out. Was it scary when they told you that they were going to go and do their own restaurant? Were you worried?
I wasn't worried. I thought it was time. Some of them, I kind of went to them, and I was surprised it took so long. I mean, was I disappointed that they weren't going to be here and be with me? Yeah, but was I happy for them? I was.
Yeah.
They're amazing. You know, owning a restaurant, making amazing pizzas, two different things. And I think a lot of operators would understand that. So a lot of people can be great at making food, but they may be terrible at being a business person. It's terrible in business. So that's the scary part. The HR side of it, the accounting side of it, food costs, signing the lease, doing all that. So it was good to see them get a little help in that category. And then Tiago, doing the trucks, mobiles to a brick and mortar. Those are kind of baby steps. So I think that's all important, but they're gifted. They're great at what they do. I knew they'd do well. So yeah, I was happy for them.
I know you have tons of people messaging you. How do you make the time? How do you manage your time?
I try to make time for everybody. People need help. I wanted help when I was younger. I didn't have much help. My brother didn't have much help. I always say it was school of hard knocks, and we didn't really have, it wasn't an open door so much. Pizza Expo was always an open door. You went to Pizza Expo, it's 3 days, most amazing things. You met people that were exciting as much as you, and then you kind of left, and there was no emails, and there was maybe a call or two and stuff. So now things are more accessible, but at the same time, some of the accessibility when it comes to information on the internet may not be correct or right. You just want a personal, like, hey man, I have a question or I need some advice. I try to do that as much as I can.
You handpicked all the WPC members, and just walk me through that process. Like, what would you notice about someone? Why would you choose them?
Yeah, I mean, the WPC has been around for over 20 years. And I picked the first group was, Joe Carlucci, Siler Chapman, Michael Shepard, Ken Bryant, and Sean Browser came next. And as we started growing out, I'd handpick this guy or this girl. It's the individual. It's who they are. I always say they don't have to be world champions. Not yet. Mm-hmm. And people didn't understand that. It's not always about you being this top guy in your industry. It's not about that. It's young or old. It can be somebody has a mobile, somebody that's going to get into the business, maybe doesn't own a multi-unit operator that does all these millions of dollars a year. Kind of get friendly with them to see if it would fit. I mean, because you got a big team, 20, 30, 40, 50. You want everybody to get along. And you got some big players and you got newbies. And I did that for years. I mean, Mike Bausch, Scott Anthony, guys in the industry that have big names now.
How did it feel when your first franchise opened? What were your feeling? What were your thoughts?
The original one's right here. Tony's Coal Fire Pizza and Slice House. Coal oven, pizza by the slice, it's connected to Tony's. So it's not really what a prototype looks like. So here I was kind of opened up in the Giants stadium and then a casino here and finally a brick and mortar in Walnut Creek, California. That's was a corporate store. We become a franchise during COVID. We looked at our operations and it was almost COVID proof. Slice houses were doing better during COVID and everything else wasn't. Slice houses were getting busier. So we said, let's focus on Slice House. Let's become a franchise. And really the first one we opened that was not a license deal or brick and mortar like that. It was like, what's the first franchise? You'd say it was The prototype was Thousand Oaks. Exciting, nervous, everything, all the above.
Yeah.
It was great to be able to build it and then look at it and build it even better and bigger, which we have. Southern California is coming, Mountain View, Northern California, Burbank, LA, everything. And you have 150 in development, almost, and you're going out of state. You know, it was one of those, I sell you a one-off. You came to me 14 months ago and I said, yeah, sure. What city do you like? And then all of a sudden it becomes, we want 8, and then we want 12, and then we want the state.
Yeah.
So you see a Utah, you see a Tennessee, you see areas like territories like Dallas, Fort Worth, which can be 20. You're this independent guy, and all of a sudden you become a franchise. I'm giving you and you and you, my secrets in a way, but you're handing it off, and you want them to continue the excellence and the commitment to excellence. And I said that could be really challenging, because if you would ask me 20 years ago, I would have said, nah, I'll never franchise or chain. I'd be kicking myself I never did. I always say that to myself. I would have regrets if I didn't do something. And I've always had that. I've tried everything in the pizza business. Like Guinness Book of World Records, children's book. I mean, like, you name it, kind of done it.
How do you plan on instilling your Tony quality of excellence and across, state lines?
Yeah, the quality and consistency is the hardest. I can control their purchasing and see what they're buying and things like that as much as I can to a franchise. But I think the consistency of it, so we've been looking at a lot of things to improve on that, building the infrastructure, building the team. Chef Anthony's a big part of it. Tom, Bill, Dominique, front of the house, Amanda's coming. I mean, like, we've been building. Even the director of construction. So we have a prototype that you're gonna build out of the playbook and the portal, and that's there, and they're picking the wrong brick, or the showcases here, and you have a can light and a can light and a can light. It's not over the showcase. All that stuff that you probably see. We have a director of construction now that can come in and not see something where I come in 4 weeks before they open and say, oh my God, why, who did it?
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, so we have ops, we have a director of marketing. We're really trying to build the infrastructure as much as we can to make it as franchisable as it can be. And there are franchisees that need to be taken by the hand, and there's others that, we got Chili's, we got Subways, we've done this, we have our own construction, go. We know how to sign a lease. We're not gonna sign a personal guarantee. Right. We got this. I just want to make it as easy. My entire team wants to make it as seamless as possible. I've had some employees that have worked for me in different properties I have, and now carrying them through with the franchise, it's been pretty awesome. Chef Anthony, Bill, Anthony's is great. He's a Laura and a Tiago. I mean, Chef Oscar that you saw, I mean, that's a Laura Tiago. I mean, they're as good as it gets.
Yeah. They're
solid. They can make any style of pizza, and they can bang it up as much as anybody in a rush. So I've groomed some new players, and I have some, I just have an amazing team. People say, oh, it's Tony's, you're the greatest, blah, blah, blah. This pizza's amazing. I'm like, yeah, but these guys make it amazing. I said, like, the name's on the sign, and I'm here, but I'm not always here. And I've grown a lot. So if I could say I'm successful, and why I'm successful, is about the team that I built over the years.
And how many different styles of pizza are you going to be doing at the slice houses and franchises?
Right now, I guess you could say we have 5 primary slices, from Sicilian, Grandma, Detroit, New York, and then you have a gluten-free, which you can add. And then I always say California style, because you may say in New York, honestly, in New York, you'd only be able to get like certain specifics back in the day. But if you look at the purple potato pizza or the burrata squash blossom pizza or things like that, it's a little more unique. And I always kind of say it's more of a California farm to table twist.
Talking about farm to table, I hear you have a garden now at your house.
I'm trying to show my son, Gino, what it was like to be on a farm. I mean, I was on a much bigger farm. I mean, it was different, but a little bit of it, so we can walk up the hill and, grab a pomegranate in about 2 months or so. Yeah, so stuff like that. horse beans, fava beans, I've grown in between the rows. You do that to create nitrogen in the soil. So naturally does that. And that helps with the trees that are around it. So we planted those, cherry tomatoes, regular tomatoes. So it's cool. Yeah, I enjoy it. Yeah. Growing up, we'd come home from school at 3. My dad would come from work at around 6. And from 3 to 6, we'd either be doing 2 things, my brother. Homework, maybe playing, watching my mom cook.
Yeah.
So watching my mom cook was a big deal. Watching my friends come over and eating my mom's food and being so excited about it, or saying that, man, my mom doesn't cook like this.
Yeah.
And then bringing as much food as they ate at the house home with them was pretty self-gratifying. It was cool because I'd see that. I'd be, oh, okay, this is kind of neat. Making cookies with my mom, spaghetti with my mom, things like that. All of a sudden you're in the business and the ticket comes in and you're reading it and you make that pizza and you make it, cook it, finish it, serve it in that pizza parlor kind of way, and that's where I started. And watching that customer eat it and then being so pleased and they're in love with it, it's very self-gratifying. So there's nothing like that feeling when people come over your house and you make food for them and they love it, they're excited. So there's that side of it, and then there's I have a style I want to make you. What did you say you're from? Oh, I'm from New Haven. Oh, you a Pepe's fan or a Sally's fan? Oh, I love Pepe. Yeah, me too. Pepe's my favorite. I'm gonna go make you a pie real quick, and bringing them that pizza and them eating it and bringing them back to when things were simpler in life. Maybe they were there 30 years ago and they moved, and to have that flavor that in your mouth where you're like, oh, it takes me back to my honeymoon. I was in Naples. It was that tomato sauce. It was that San Marzano flavor profile. It wasn't sweet, wasn't acidic. It was just right there, that old world feel. When you bite into it, anything that can take you back to a moment in life when things were just simpler, or things were just less chaotic, or you were in love, whatever it was, or maybe when you're a child and you just fell in love with pizza. It's something very special, and we can do that in our restaurants. You can do that and it's almost like magic, like you do something pretty cool. So I like that. I enjoy that. I get excited about it when I hear somebody's from a place, a New York, Jersey, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll make them a pizza that will be 99.9% there, other than them being in that city at that time. So I think that's something pretty special that you can do, and it's everyone loves pizza.
How is it being able to share your passion with Gino? You guys make pizza all the time. He comes to the restaurant.
Making pizzas with Gino is pretty awesome. He just wants to go to work. So he'll go to Slice House in Walnut Creek when I'm not there and just get a ride from, mom and work there for 3 hours. He wants to get paid cash. So he gets home and say, Pa, dude, well, where's my money?
Yeah.
Well, dude, you're like 9. Why are you yelling at me about money? But it's pretty awesome. I don't want to push him to do something that he doesn't want to do. I don't think I ever want to be a dad like that. But it's pretty awesome, him next to me saucing a pizza while I'm stretching it, or vice versa, him stretching it while I'm saucing it. You'll see him at the pizza festival. He'll be in the middle of it. And he's not shy. He loves to get involved. And it's pretty awesome. I wasn't like that. I was a shy kid growing up. My mom had to push me to be who I am today. She was very much like that. But Gino seems to be right out there. If I'm tossing at an acrobatic show, he'll be right there stretching pizza, just not doing what I'm doing, but just kind of there. It's very cool. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing. Thanks.
Tony, thank you so much for your time.
Sure.
It's always good to see you, and it's so crazy to be back here 10 years later.
Thanks.
See how much you've grown.
Thank you very much. Yeah, things have really taken off.